Hey there, everybody. What's up? Kinda made a bit of a goof. Didn't quite charge the main camera to its fullest. So, therefore, the battery isn't 100%. Which means this episode might be forced to be shorter than usual. And since, well, I've had this camera for about a year now, and it hasn't, when I first got it at full 100% battery power, it could have gone for over an hour of just straight recording. Nowadays, though, because it's kind of deteriorated a bit, the battery that is, at max power, it rarely goes over 25 minutes, which is a 1/4 of an hour. No, wait, about a quarter of what it used to do. I guess that's one way of putting it. It had about an hour and 10 minutes when I first got it. So, yeah. About a quarter of what it used to do. Performance issues, am I right? But, yeah. Maybe at some point I'm gonna have to try to see if I can get this thing looked at. Maybe get a new camera or something. But that's just the main fact of it all. So, like I said, this episode, not my fault, I'm afraid. Well, my fault, I'm afraid, but not intentionally. I should have said this episode's gonna go on shorter than normal, and I apologize for that. But on the bright side, there really isn't that much to do an episode about today, because there is no new major event. Nothing big has happened. And, it's a Saturday, it's a slow day, and as is the case with most Saturdays, I have a show to do later tonight. Get Sweaty, a show that I do every week with my friends, and, want to get myself ready for that show. Haven't really had much in the way of sleep lately. 2 days ago, it kinda really isn't my fault. I went to sleep at a proper time. I went to bed, I should say, at a proper time. Couldn't really quite fall asleep, which is annoying. I just hate it when you lie down on your bed and just can't sleep. But, yeah. And then, as is usually the case with Friday, for now that is, my mom showed up with... Oh, actually, no, wait a minute. I forgot. See, I forget these things. On Thursday, I went back to the movie theater after over a year of not being in movie theaters. Oh, how unfortunate. Give me a second. I guess this is where the camera gave out. How long have I been recording? Something doesn't feel right. Give me a second. Yep, it's because of the battery. For some reason I just thought it was because I forgot to click the recording button again, but nope. It's the battery. It all comes down to the battery. So, still, I didn't want to just not do an episode today because I've got some things to talk about. First of all, I started to talk about it. Going back to the movie theaters after over a year. I've really missed this. I really did. It was great being there again. Obviously, it came with the usual frustrations like long line, potentially being late for the movies, missing the first few minutes because I was late, because I was standing in line. Now, it's understandable. I mean, people haven't been in the movie theaters in so long. People are anxious to go back there. And, well, they go out in droves. And as a result, there's going to be a long line. Now, see, I'm not upset that there was a long line. What I am upset about is how that line was managed. And it was mostly, when I say long line, I'm pretty much referring to the concession stand. First of all, there are, hold on. See, because I'm using both the camera and the recording app, the phone's gonna operate slower. So, another reason why I should probably cut this episode short. But I'm gonna say my piece first, then cut the episode short. It's a gulping. Yeah, as I was saying, in this specific movie theater that I go to, there are two concession stands. There's one on the same side where you get the tickets, and another one after the ticket taker. All right. Well, one of them was closed. The one behind the ticket takers was closed. I'm guessing it's still because they're operating on COVID rules or something. Maybe they wanted to limit the number of workers before, certain COVID rules are lifted. I don't know. It's their prerogative, their decision. Ultimately, though, I think it really hurt the experience because more people just went to the concession stand that was open, as opposed to having this huge line of people be divided in half. But like I said, it was the movie theater's decision, and I'm guessing they had their reasons for it. What really pissed me off, though, was the fact, and yes, I'm going for Sunkern because it's weather boosted, and I need all the stardust I can get right now. Anyways, in the concession stand, there are multiple lines in the stand itself. I went to the line that seemed to be the shortest, assuming it'll be over soon, and well, I quickly realized why it was so short, that line, because so the cashier that was there was kind of incompetent. He was really slow, didn't know what he was doing. He took way too much time giving people what they asked for, and it didn't go smoothly. And by the time I realized that, it was already too late. I've been standing in that line for too long. I couldn't just cut corners and go to a different line because other people were already showed. It wouldn't have been fair for me to just join another line. So I just kept standing there, waiting and hoping the guy would get a move on, which he did not. It was terrible. And I'm sorry to say this, maybe it was his first day. I mean, let's not forget, movie theaters haven't quite operated at full capacity for a very long time. It was tough, and that's why I really didn't want to go off on the poor kid, because I'm guessing he was doing his best. I mean, I'm not really the fastest guy in my job to begin with, so I really can't speak like that about other people. Interesting seeing a snover here. But yeah, like I said, it was annoying. Let's just say it wasn't fun. That was my least favorite part of going back to the movies, was that particular experience. And I ended up waiting 20 minutes in line, maybe even more, and I missed the first few minutes of the movie. It happens, okay? It happens. Like I said, I'm not putting all the blame on the poor kid. But, you know, when you're standing in line and you see people who came, and you see people in other lines that came after you, just go forward and get their popcorn and drinks before you, and go to see their movies before you do, despite the fact that you showed up before they did. It gets annoying. It gets frustrating. And can you really blame me for getting annoyed by that? It was the first time in the movie theater in over a year. It's definitely not how I wanted my first movie experience in over a year to be. But no, it happened. Still though, at least I enjoyed the movie. I went to well, the New Disney live action movie. Really liked it. Really enjoyed it. You can check out my review on my channel. But yeah, it was over at around 1 in the morning, and I went back home at around 2. Can't really remember what I did after that, but I mean, I went to bed at around 3, which is still late by a lot of other people's standards. To me, it's just business as usual, I think. Still though, couldn't really fall asleep, and then, like I said, Friday, my mom showed up with her dog trainer. Barely got any sleep at all. And then, yesterday, was a pretty big Schmodown day. I missed out on a couple of the Schmodown matches lately, so I watched all 3 that had already came out back to back. Watched Ace vs. Thomas Harper, the Star Wars match. Robert Parker versus Jen Sullivan in a Geek match. JT versus Paul Preston in a singles match. All 3 of the reactions will be on my channel very soon. And then I watched the live event pay-per-view, Polyama versus Ethan Irwin and John Roca versus Ben Bateman, both of which singles match. Well, I mean, the event itself already happened. People are going to talk about it. I mean, there are already going to be after shows discussing what happened, so I was going to say it outright. My 2 guys didn't good for a win last night. I was rooting for Paul Oyama. Kind of went a bit ahead of himself in round 2 with movie release dates. Yeah, and forced to go to multiple choice too many times, I think, and just that's what ended up costing that. Other than that, he went perfect, I think. And John Roca, I mean, that's my guy. Him and Ben played almost a perfect match. They both missed their 5s, went to sudden death, and just, Roca was the first one to miss in sudden death. Yeah, it's annoying when the horse that you bet on, so to speak, doesn't cross the finish line first, but that's what happens. Maybe that's why I'm not dealing on this Schmodown. Maybe. But, yeah. Well, I think you get a motivate pass from those boxes now. Well, that's interesting. Let's see which Pokemon we want to get this month. Oh, Clamper! Nice. Interesting. Yeah. That's basically all I wanted to get off my chest this morning. So, well, I think I said my piece. I think we can go ahead and wrap up this episode. All I will say to close it out is that I did actually have a shiny reaction recently. Oh yeah, now I remember. That's why my camera battery was so low, because I went out and recorded myself going to the mall and back, because it had something to do with the post office. and yeah, now it's holding me back to me. That's why there was no battery in the camera. Yeah, my bad. Still, I got a shiny reaction out of it, and I'm going to put it right here at the end of the episode. So, nothing to saying Pokemon already have the shiny in this game, but, well, you know, it happened. So, and I've been really unlucky with shiny reactions lately. So, kind of happy to get this one out on camera. So, well, that's it for today. Sorry for being such a downer of an episode, but yeah, these things are going to happen. At least I got a chance to talk about my first experience being back at the movie theater in a very long time. So at least I got that out of the way. Well, thank you for watching, if you have. And oh yeah, one very quick disclaimer. Tomorrow is Gibble Community Day on Pokemon Go. The Community Day, which I kind of thought was going to be today. Turns out wrong, it's not today. It's tomorrow, and tomorrow is when I start my new job, which unfortunately means I probably won't be able to attend Community Day. I'm going to miss it. It's going to be another one of those community days that I've missed. But I'd much rather miss a community day because I started a new job, as opposed to I just fell asleep and completely passed me by. I'd much rather that happen. It might be able to show up and record an episode on the last hour of the community day, but I will make promises I can't keep. So I'm just letting you know in advance that while I will try to participate in the community day itself, it will most likely be off camera. That's really all I have to say on that. Well, I think I've talked long enough. Now, hope you enjoy the shiny reaction, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully in the last hour of the community day. So, goodbye, everyone. See you then. Shiny! Ah! I knew this would happen if I turned on the camera. Eventually. Kind of figured. It was a slightly different color, but I wasn't sure, and I wanted to wait for it. And look at that, the wind. Well, at least I finally got shiny on camera, and the wind just refuses to let me enjoy it for 1 second. Alright, let's see. Catch it. Oh, yeah, it worked. Finally an on-camera shiny. Too bad it's a Sunkern. One of the worst Pokemon ever, and a shiny I already have. Still, a shiny is a shiny. What can you say? Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.